Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are live with Raphael, Gabriel, and today we've also been joined by another person. I know you guys might not be able to see us right now, but if not to worry. Let me try and get the camera up and running. Or we've got another camera that we can use as a backup. So thank you for joining us all today. This is the Wirex live charting. And we will be giving you all of the top, basically the next best thing. So thank you for joining us. I know that you guys want to see the have the update on the card. Is that right? So we have a pre-beta advert that we're gonna roll out to you guys now. And essentially, with regards to the application and the new service and the cards that you guys have all been waiting for, we're in the process of testing them. So, this is for your eyes only. You guys are going to have a very cool sneak preview of what is about to go out very, very soon in the next couple of days. So, enjoy. I hope you enjoy it. This is the pre-beta. Hey, what did you guys think?
Great. So this is the video that the video team are currently editing to finish off the first teaser video that hopefully we'll be publishing probably tomorrow. And then if you're not on the waiting list already, then get on the waiting list so you're at the front of the queue, because that advert will start to bring in new people who are very eager from the crypto community in the cards and the accounts that are about to launch. And then we'll have more detailed video demonstrations next week once the team has reviewed, done all the UAT, the user acceptance testing that happens internally before we can release that product live to you in the community. So should we crack on? I think the video is looking good. And to introduce Luiz joins us from Brazil.
Hello, guys.
Luiz was at our Bitcoin Beer Club event that we had last Thursday, and that was 1 week ago exactly, and I gave you guys the presentation that we were going to show, the introduction to the event. But Raf, we had 150 people register, 50 more or less actually came to the event, so that was a good turnout, and it was a great event, great night.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot to drink, a lot to eat. Well, not as much to eat as I wanted to. All the pizza got eaten before I had a chance to get it. I had one slice, and yeah, but apart from that, it was amazing turnout. People that hadn't heard of Wirex learned a lot. We built a lot of networking, and I've actually got an email with regards to another venue. So we're looking to potentially host a crypto cocktail night and Wirex wine night as well very soon. So, you know, for those of you that didn't make it to the Bitcoin Beer Club and are in London, because again, we sold 150 tickets, so that's and 50 more or less came, so that's 100 people in London that could have come but couldn't make it that night. So if you guys are interested in either the next Bitcoin Beer Club or potentially the Crypto Cocktail Club or Wirex Wine Night, you know, stay tuned, follow the revolution, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll get the latest news, the latest announcements on all of these new events coming very, very soon. But we're going to get into the real meat of this today, which is obviously the TA.
Great, just so you guys don't think it's always snowing and foggy in London, that's actually a pre-recorded video from the past couple of days, isn't it, Rav? It's not quite as bad as that outside the window right now.
It's not that bad, but it is.
There is some snow.
Yeah. Shall we show them? Let's give them a quick look.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you guys can see right now, this is what it looks outside of the Wirex office.
Can you bend that down to look down to the... Yeah.
It is. It's definitely not melted yet. it's not going to be fun to walk on later. Definitely.
And I invited Luis to this crypto update or the charting because we had such a good conversation and realized that we trade in quite a similar ways. A great story of Luis coming from Brazil just in the past couple of weeks. Google searched.
Yeah, I did a Google search on crypto meetings and end up in the beer club. Discovered this company, Wirex, great company. Looks like a huge project. And I'm here for my card, man.
And so Luis is over here from Brazil, and
yes.
he trades crypto, he trades Bitcoin, and we have a fairly similar approach. So we're going to go through some analysis, look at the charts together, and Luis is living from his Bitcoin trading, which is really, really awesome.
Yes.
And get to travel around, right?
Yes, there's like 1 year now that I live only from trading, and it's working great until now. And I hope I can share my knowledge with you guys. And
that's fantastic.
And learn with these two guys. It's amazing guys.
Yeah, so we better give our disclaimer, right? So this event, these videos that we do are for educational and entertainment purposes only, not intended as any investment advice.
Yes.
So you guys have got to make your own decisions. But let's jump in. What have we got here, Ralph? We've got the chart that we've been looking at for the past month. Bitcoin chart with this is the 1 day chart, and funny enough, again, Luis uses the Ichimoku cloud indicator, which is what I've been going on about for the past month, and also the Heikin-Ashi as well, which is where the candles get smoothened out, so you get the lots of green ones in a row and lots of red ones in a row. So it's just a big surprise that we use quite a similar trading approach. But any observations, Raf, since we last spoke a week ago? What do you reckon?
It looks like we're making it up to a very big make or break moment, in my opinion. I see that downtrend line we touched just before we did our last one last week, so that was the third contact on that trend line.
That was there, right?
Yeah, the confirmation. And it looks like we're just hovering. We might break through it. We might break through it today. But it's been pretty spot on.
And look at those scribbles, right? So the scribbles now, we're still in the area where they're pushing these down. What I suggested when we were back here, at this point, I think it was like this candle here, the green one, whatever the Thursday was, right at the beginning of February. That we would see this kind of progression up to here, probably get the resistance from below the Ichimoku cloud to push the price down for a while. We also had the idea maybe there's going to be a trend line here because we already had that drawn on there. And I drew these scribbly lines and pushing down, suggesting maybe the cloud will act as that resistance, push the price lower, and eventually we'd look to break through maybe as deep as here again. And then we're aiming to get above the cloud to cross over, but once you're above the cloud, then you get the positive momentum, and hopefully we're going up. So and then look what happened. We came up to there, we got pushed down, not exactly by the cloud line, but by that trend line that was there, and then it went down until a few days ago, and for the past 3 days we've been pushing back up, and here we are. If we can zoom in there, that's that candle that's right now, today's candle is, again, it's like the spinning top kind of idea. It's got the wick at the top and the wick at the bottom and the thin body. It's like the kind of kid's toy you can spin on the table, and it topples over after a while. That is a point of kind of indecision. The market is not quite sure which direction he wants to move. Not a strong green candle like this one, not red, not negative. So the market really is debating, and look, it's directly on that trend line right now. So it's kind of like a guessing game at this point, right?
Yes, since everybody is looking at the same chart, it works like every time. Like if you take a closer look and you see the trend line is actually working as the below of the line, the cloud as the how do you see the bottom of the cloud,
Yeah.
They kind to be on the same place, and the doji, like the spinning top, it's actually on the trend line, so everybody's looking at the same chart, and people start getting scared when we get to the point where there's a huge pressure on the market. If we can get through that, we're gonna go above the cloud. So
that's a really good point. That's it. That's the official name for that candle. I call it spinning top. It's described as that, but it's a doji candle.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not sure
that's the name. Yeah. And you're saying that pressure, and that's another good point, is like everyone is looking at the same chart. All of the traders, they're looking at their own indicators, but that's it. Everyone's got a trend line on the chart because that's the easiest thing to start with. So they're watching that too. As that pushes through and breaks into the cloud, very often you see the price move from one side of the cloud to the other side. Yeah. Once you break into the cloud, but we're still waiting for that to actually happen. So we're breaking the trend line, and we're going to jump into that cloud, and then we're thinking that we got to the top of the cloud. If then we break through there, then we're into positive momentum again on the one day chart, which is very significant, because if we zoom out, you can see that we've been below the cloud for days. I mean, this was December, the big high, $20,000 Bitcoin. Then it dropped, huge drop, and it went back and it touched that area, and that's what started the beginning of the trend line. But then it went into the cloud, and so it had to come to the edge of the cloud, then it's below the cloud, and it's been since middle of January. And we're now, beginning of March, so it's a month and a half of the one day being below the cloud. So we're aiming for that, and then good times to come.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, it looks like we're been hovering around the 10,500 point for the past sort of few days. Sort of been bouncing off of that level. It really remains to be seen. For me, it's just as soon as we just break off from that downward trend, once we just get a big green confirmation candle that we're above that trend, I think we could see another bull run. But again, it's to be seen that Ichimoku cloud is red, so there could be it's to be seen. It's but on the fundamental point of things that I've touched on sort of yesterday and last week, we've had an amazing week of geopolitical news and stuff with regards to cryptocurrencies.
President Putin,
right? he's basically he's come out of nowhere, out of the woodwork, all of a sudden in like full championship of this technology and what it could do. And his quote was, we evolved from the Stone Age not because we ran out of stones, but because we found new technologies.
Better technologies. Right?
Yeah, better technologies. And I think that is pretty, that's pretty profound statement. And it's something that I think Wirex is doing. That is, it's bridging the gap between old world technologies and new world technologies. And that's not the only thing. The other thing that's happened in the last week is that for one of the first times since I've been in sort of the industry, banks and financial institutions themselves have actually been releasing reports and starting to admit that this is an actual risk to their business. And that's the first time I've actually witnessed personally, them releasing actual documents and actual things that allude to that. In the past, less than 5 months ago, Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, was calling Bitcoin and cryptocurrency a scam. To go around and reverse and actually admit that, well, hold on, they're actually a risk to our business model, our remittance services, our financial services. This is a big revelation. This is a huge revelation. I think it's been kind of underreported in some respects. But again, this just shows how potentially fickle the market can be. The market has heard all of this good news, and we haven't seen so much of an upsurge.
Well, okay, so that's a really good point for me in coming from the technical analysis perspective. I'm not sure how Louise feels about this, but the way that I look at it is if the charts, if that mass market of traders is in a negative momentum, and I suggested it last week, I think, even if you get crazy good news, if the market is still pushing down, then the market is still pushing down, even if there's the good news. If that good news happened after the break of that trend line, when it's in the sweet spot of positive momentum, then that kind of good news comes out, then you see a huge spike just because the attitude of the market is ready. Does that fit with you?
Yes, I agree. I think like companies like the JP Morgans and the Goldman Sachs, they are like talking a lot about like bad things about crypto because they are buying probably. if they are talking like I usually do the opposite of news. So if you are like Bill Gates just said the other day, like people are dying because of crypto, that's bullish to me. Like if they are talking about that, it's because they are buying and they want to keep the price low so they can buy more. And then after that, they will like pump everything. They will say, "Oh, this is the best thing. We just bought like a company a few days ago just bought Poloniex." I'm not sure if they are from Goldman Sachs.
Well, they are a Goldman Sachs has invested lots of money.
Yeah,
into
and we know these opinions from the news. That's the coverage. That's the general idea now. Is that these big institutions are diving into cryptocurrency. They are buying Bitcoin, ready for the future, and so it makes sense.
Yeah, and they are like creating their own platforms and exchanges so they can control the market. That's what I see right now.
Cool.
From the price side, we need to get through that line. We need to get into the cloud, and we need to get above the trend line, the downtrend line, because everybody's kind of scared right now.
Well, this is another thing as well. So, like, with Bitcoin, which is obviously sort of the main stakeholder in cryptocurrencies, it's over 30% of the market. All of this positive news would have expected, well, I personally, because I'm a kind of fundamentals primarily sort of guy, but I do see a lot of value in TA, would have seen a big upsurge. But it hasn't happened. What I think, opinion-wise, is that the market is quite skittish because, you know, in contrast, when you have negative news, you tend to see a sort of a big reaction, a quick reaction. So the big example of that, actually, from today, these last few days, was with Walton Coin. And with Walton, what happened is they had a competition.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this? So they had a competition, and one of the internal staff members won, apparently, and he tweeted, "Oh my God, I can't believe I won the Walton Chain competition." And he posted the tweet from the official Walton Chain account. So he must have forgot to log out of the Walton Chain account and log into his personal, or the account that was supposedly the winner, and post that tweet. And then what you saw was a 25% drop in the price of Walton Chain. Literally, you know,
Maybe I missed the point, but what was the bad thing about the tweet?
Well,
is it just like bizarre news for the community, or was he?
No, because Walton hosted this competition.
Oh,
right?
I see.
So
someone internal won he won his own competition.
So it's like planned. They play. I'm not sure. I can tell. But
yeah, exactly. Walton
looks like
they released a statement later today, but the statement hasn't seemed to like. Well, actually, it might be a good idea to even pull up the chart and see what that the response has.
Says, I don't know. Yeah, I think WTC.
Yeah, here we go. So,
all right. Well, that was already going down. When did that happen? Just a few days ago.
Yesterday, literally just yesterday.
Right.
That might be that huge candle.
So yeah, okay. So that's well. So again, this is really interesting from this TA technical analysis versus fundamental analysis kind of conversation, what we can see is Walton has already taken a big slide, and a couple of days ago that red candle was, you know, closed. The end of that candle was below the cloud.
Yeah.
And you had that crossover a couple of days ago as well. So it was really tightening up, and it made that. So then any bad news, it plays into, I think it plays into what I'm trying to say, suggests, it's my theory.
Yeah, no,
is that when the chart is negative and a bit of bad news comes out, then you get the market can have a very, very strong reaction. If we take that off of Heikin-Ashi candle and look at normal candles, you get a bit of a better idea of what the price movement was. So it dipped all the way down. Do you know what moving average you got there, Raf? Like a 200-day or 100-day?
That is the 200, yeah.
Oh, that might be the reason why people got the bottom, because there's a lot of traders there who buy those dips, right?
Yeah. So you got a lot of people that will have orders ready to buy if a coin gets down to that kind of a strong moving average.
Yes, I do that as well.
Right. Okay. So great. So
but I didn't know on what coin. I actually didn't see this chart.
Yeah, it's so we can see a trend line there. So we could just draw.
They probably were trying to move this coin up, like with this competition, and just shot their own foot.
Yeah,
right?
Backfired a little bit. So not for me. This is not something like. Yeah, I take the point that some traders would trade on the deep moving average there. For me as a Ichimoku trader, then for me I'm not looking to enter this trade right now.
Actually, me too. Actually, that TK cross above there, like that one, it's telling you like this is going down right there when the.
So let's just draw that for the viewers. This is what Lewis is pointing out. This is called the TK crossover.
Yeah, when it crossed like that.
And that was negative momentum going down.
Yes, it's already pointing down. And when it gets to the cloud and it closes out, inside the cloud, you might see the trend like crossing the cloud to the other side. Besides the fact there's that candle right there, the candle before
this one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so this is more technical analysis than we've covered so far on the show, but that's great to point that out. Usually we look at the Heikin-Ashi, but what we're doing is looking at the real candles now.
Yeah.
And there's patterns for each candle, right?
Exactly. If you guys like Google candle patterns, I'm not sure. I'm sorry for any English mistakes, guys. Actually, that combined with other indicators that can tell you it's not doing well or it's doing well. So I'm not sure which like that one. If it is on the top, it's called a shooting star.
Mm-hmm.
But if it is at the bottom, I'm not sure.
I think it might be a tombstone. Great tombstone. Tombstone. So that's where, like, you imagine the flat base, and then you just got the thin concrete tombstone sticking up. So that's the idea of that candle, and that suggests that during that day, the price went up, but by the end of the day, it had fallen all the way back down again. So there was no confidence in going up in the market.
Exactly.
And that suggests the next day people might sell off even deeper, and that's why. And then we broke into the cloud.
And you have like 2 or 3 reasons to sell. To get out of this trade.
Yeah.
And when it starts trading on the other day, or the next candle starts trading below the previous candle, that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
It usually don't hold. Usually.
Excellent. That's deeper technical analysis. That's fantastic. And then we had the few greens there got into the cloud, but look again, it kind of got rejected on that trend line. It hit that trend line. It met the trend line there after. So that was considered, the first point of. Then that one suggests maybe there's a trend line forming.
Yeah.
And then by the time we got here and confirmed the trend line with that third point, and that's pushed it back below the cloud, and then Walton got some bad news. Market momentum's already negative, and wham, you've gone back to the 200-day moving average. Now, for me, I would not be buying right now because I don't know if that's going to continue down here deeper, or if they're going to get lucky and break that trend line. If they broke that trend line, I'm still personally not going to be entering because we're pushing against that resistance of the bottom of the cloud. So for me, I'm waiting until we close inside the cloud, waiting for that to turn back up to green to cross over. Or to stay really safe, then you're looking for a break above the cloud, and as Lewis has pointed out, you're looking for the TK crossover again.
Yes.
Right? So you're looking for that, the two lines on part of the Ichimoku cloud. You're looking for that. I can't see. I think it's there.
Yeah.
You're looking for that one to travel back up again, and that one to extend. So you get that crossover. And if you guys go back to the videos that we've done a month ago, I did touch on the TK crossover, the Tinkinson line and the Cajunson line, and how that stuff works. So go back if you haven't seen it, guys. You want to understand what we're really explaining and looking, because this is, for me, this is amazing insight. And again, it's amazing for me that Luis, who comes from Brazil, who's been trading crypto as well for Bitcoin for a year, we're using very similar indicators.
And they seem to be working as well. Like it's you know, we've seen now that BTC one, it's had that third touch point, but it now looks like it might go through, might get rejected again. Today is a make or break day for that one, in all honesty.
Let's go.
BTC, it's holding strong, I guess. I'm not confident, but it's holding strong.
Yeah, it's not swinging wildly.
So this is the 1 day chart. I drew this big blue square. You can see it's like an area of consolidation, possibly. It broke down there, but it jumped back up, and then it's bouncing around again here. So we're really waiting for us to break out of this area above the cloud as well. It's another, maybe we'll come to that in another advanced session. But I'm going to just kill that box. And let's jump into the 4-hour chart to get a little bit closer analysis around the trend line area. So
this is where it's going to get interesting.
So I know there's a lot of scribbles on the chart, guys. Let's kill that just to clarify a bit more. So now we can see that exact same chart that we're looking at the 1 day, but this is at the 4-hour level, which means every candle is 4 hours of time. And you can see where we confirmed that trend line days ago. And then we've fallen below the 4-hour cloud, and then we went back. Look at that.
Straight through it again.
No, this candle here.
Is it a candle? No.
What? Oh, you've got a line there somehow, Raf. Yes. Let's just take that off. Okay. And then we went back up, and we're testing this trend line, and look, we're bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down. But look where we are.
Broken through the cloud.
On the 4-hour, we have broken through the cloud. Right, I'm drawing a new line for the first time since last week.
And this kind of the candle pattern, I think they call it the three soldiers, I guess.
Three white soldiers.
White soldiers. Yes, it's a good sign.
It is
closing above the cloud, and the patterns of the candles, they are good signs right now.
So the stronger 3 white candles indicator is when you got 3 that are like this if big, I can zoom in a bit.
Yeah, not exactly the ones.
You got that 1 strong one, 2 strong one, and then these are a little bit weaker, but they're still pointing up. But look what else is happening.
That's turning.
You're getting the green cloud formation in the future. So guys, like, this is live right now. If you like this kind of analysis, then and you're into technical analysis, you might be looking at the same things that we are. This is a bit of confirmation for you, but it looks like we might be breaking through the trend line. Right?
Yes, and we might see it like a rush or a FOMO when we start like closing above that trend line, when there's confirmation. Like people will jump in, like everybody's waiting to, not everybody, because some got earlier, someone is waiting for AK.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but usually when like breaks the downtrend, like things start to get like pumping.
Yeah. So on that 4 hour, we might see some pumping. You call it the FOMO. For anyone who's not familiar, it means fear of missing out, right? So this is where everyone starts to jump on board because they see that price rally begin, and we might see that kind of rally. And interesting, so this is the 4 hour perspective. Let's jump back again to the 1 day, and we'll see this circle looks quite far away from where we are, right? These candles at this zoomed out level, these candles are very small. That's just a small little crossover, just breaking above that 4 hour cloud, and that's quite a journey, quite a distance. So let's jump back to the 1 day chart and see how far that really is. Whoops, I just gone to the 1 week. Basically, that distance is the distance of the cloud, and and so the theory is that on the 1 day, if this candle today, so this will be the prediction for today's analysis. Once we get a green candle that closes nicely inside this red cloud on the 1 day chart, then the chances are, the prediction is that we're going to see something that crosses over that cloud and into this area here. So now we've got a nice deep thick purple line on the chart there. Let's jump into the 4 hour just once more and see what that looks like.
As you can see, like the other trend line, when it tried to cross the first and the second time, was like one candle outside the above the trend line. Sorry, and now we have like 3 candles closing above the trend line. It's not like people are they are not sure, but you can see it's closing above the cloud. It's a good sign.
That's right. So what you're saying up here, you're saying that this candle, there was only one of it that poked above the trend line, and look at the next candle, it was straight back down
people
again.
might like go short on there, or said, "Oh, I'm gonna sell on the trend line because it's not going up." So you might see like a huge reversal candle.
Or they take profits, right?
Yes.
If they've got a long position, if they've been holding and they've had a nice trade from down here, when it gets to a trend line level, they sell to take the profit.
Yes.
Because it's a risk, right? And that was really good observation. So then it dropped back down, but now what you're saying is these candles are actually closing above.
So that you're right. We get the FOMO now. People start getting worried that their next bull run is next, and get that uptick potentially.
It's above right now. It's above the cloud, and it's above the trend line, the downtrend line. So it's looking quite good.
So there you go. So if we can get a little bit higher on those 4 hour candles, just a bit higher, breaking away from the trend line, a little bit higher with than the cloud, and then that will then be inside the cloud on the 1 day chart.
Yes.
And then we're going to see that travel across that 1 day chart into that zone.
That would be the big confirmation for me, is that candle finishing inside the cloud on the 1 day chart.
As well. Like the higher time frames are always better for they are better indicators for. If you look like weekly and daily, and they are bullish, but the 4 hour is not bullish, probably the daily is right, and the 4 hour is wrong.
The 4 hour will follow the bigger time frame. So let's actually jump up to the 1 hour and see what's going on there.
Oh, is the week one?
Yeah, weekly.
The weekly.
Oh, we did some TA
Yeah,
on this
I
as
guess
well.
you covered the doji,
Yeah, we-
like the weekly.
Yeah,
That-
exactly.
That candle made us like move
Right.
much higher.
So again, like the spinning top or the doji, that was the indecision in the market. But when it happened, you're looking, it could be a strong bottom at that point and a nice rise for the next candle. And that's what we got. And now look at what's happening. This current week, this week is
We have
pushing through that weekly trend line, because that trend line is not just on the 4 hour, not just the 1 day, but this is the trend line since that December high, which was weeks ago. So this is now actually we're seeing a breakthrough on the weekly chart. Let's just jump on the Heiken Ashi, have a little look.
It's quite impressive how like all of the time frames actually match up to this trend. Like
Yeah, you get your head around it. It's like looking through a maze and then like a cube. That's
it's very cool.
So it's a little bit messy there, but you can see we are like this is now the Heiken Ashi, and we're still below there on that candle for the Heiken Ashi. So I'm gonna suggest, and this is where we then have to look at more advanced indicators to really see the momentum. So moving averages and MACD, moving average, convergence, divergence, which we haven't actually got into in our programs. But there's other indicators that suggest, is that ready to push? And when it does, I can really see that popping hard. So you could, like that there's our circle that we've had on the 1 day chart. I can definitely see that just being one straight up week, one candle and it might be next week where we go from 10,300 or so where we are right now. Wait, I need to get back to the proper candle.
Yeah, the thing about Heiken Ashi is the previous candle always close on the middle of the candle. You know?
So the price is not accurate. When you look,
I think it's an average from price.
So we're back on the normal candles now. We are with the normal candles breaking through that trend line, and we're at about current price is about $10,700. I can definitely see it in the next week going to 13,200. And that seems reasonable, unless like there's some serious bad news or
no. And to be honest, the other thing as well is that now Bitcoin is more liquid than it has ever been in history. It's cheaper now to send Bitcoin to anyone around the world than it's ever been in the history of Bitcoin, and that's because now 30% of all transactions are segregated witness transactions. And it's pennies to send you can now use Bitcoin potentially now as a currency. So
or free between Wirex customer accounts
absolutely.
as well.
So when we get huge very soon, because we're having the launch in the next sort of days now, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be able to transact Bitcoin for free, and I've actually been doing that around the office. I've been sending people £1, £2 worth of Bitcoin to their Wirex accounts just to make the point and just to prove that I think even someone paid for KFC, paid me back in Bitcoin for KFC. So it's like, it's crazy, right? So yeah, you can now use crypto and Bitcoin. It's more liquid than it ever has been, and that means trading volumes in theory should increase. So more people should be moving it. But yeah, very, very cool. And
so there we go. So that's the 1 week. Looks like to me like we're starting to break through. The next week really could see a very sharp rise. I think that seems reasonable without even adding any other indicators. We'll get to more advanced stuff in other programs. Let's take a look. Is anyone commenting about coins that they want to have a quick look at?
let's have a look. I've been checking it.
What coins What you mentioned Neo to us before we got started.
Yeah.
So let's have a quick look at Neo.
I'm a big Neo fan as well.
We from Brazil, like Neo is China is a big competitor.
for the country. Like
for the country.
Brazil is such a big country,
Yes.
and China is such a big country.
When we take a look to China, they are really good. You know, their products might not be that good, but like they know what they're doing.
Right.
So if China didn't stop it, Neo, they might have like something behind it. So I think like they are a good platform. They are like easy to program. They have multiple. I think they.
Well, this is the thing, right? Neo is essentially a smart contract platform.
Yes.
And not only that, you can also build tokens on Neo. It works very, very similar to Ethereum. But like you said, it's more open source.
Yes.
There's much more coding languages that you can use to program it. And you can also build dApps on it, so decentralized applications. Like we had last year, the first sort of decentralized application was CryptoKitties on the Ethereum exchange. I think now they're working on Neo Dogs or Neo Pets or something like that. So, so that they're trying.
Really?
Yeah, they're making it, and I mean these are really good proofs of concepts.
Yeah.
And I think Neo for me is technologically fundamentally better than Ethereum, but it doesn't have anywhere near as many ICOs or tokens built on it. You know, for me, Ethereum is a lot of the price is these ERC20 tokens that are propping it up, but it's to be seen. I think Neo could be could be a competitor to Ethereum. I also think Ethereum Classic could potentially even be a competitor to Ethereum.
Sure.
But this is 2018. It's a very exciting year. 2017 was definitely ICO Ethereum year, because that's when loads of ICOs and ERC20 tokens just took off.
Sure. Yeah, I think if they work just inside China, they're gonna be huge. They don't need to outcome Ethereum because China is huge. That's what I think about Neo. They are doing like for their own country, so
Still huge growth potential.
yeah.
So here observation. We're looking at the Neo chart versus US dollar. This is a weekly chart. This is normal candles, and we can do a few readings here. Like the one I just drawn was that very deep dip in the market during that week, but then it went right back up to, by the end of the week, it closed near where it started. So that was a strong indicator that we're going to start going back up, and that's what has happened over the last few weeks. Started to go back up. What I want to bring attention to is this area over here, and this is another function of the Ichimoku cloud. This is the lagging.
The lagging span, I guess.
Yeah, the lagging indicator.
I'm not sure the name.
It's the slipped my mind. It's Tinkinson, Kajinson, and the Chiku span. I think that's what it's called, the Chiku span. And look, where these sharp lines happen, they're potentially levels of support and resistance. So you can see here, I'm going to pop a line, horizontal line there. You can see with that line, we're just about touching at that point. We're just about touching at that point. And right now, we're actually on that point again. So it might be that this area is a level of a significant level for the price in Neo at the moment. And now let's see what's happening with the Heiken Ashi.
I wish I bought AND shares. It's like
and shares.
I was there. You know,
I was there. I completely missed the boat on that one. To be honest, the name put me off. That was literally. I didn't even look into the project. I just heard the name. I was like, I don't want to buy shares in an AND.
Yeah, my friend told me, you should buy AND shares, and I was like, dude, no. And then changes to Neo, and I was like,
yeah, I need to read into this now, and then I start buying it.
Actually, the founder of Neo, people talk really well about him.
He's actually really clever. I've heard him speak, and my brother even went to meet to a Neo event, and he was really impressed by everything that he said. So NEO looks like it is a tremendous project. The amount of intellectual resources that they have as well, they've got a really big team, and they're all working on really sort of big projects. So who knows if 2018 could do for NEO what 2017 did for Ethereum. I'm not sure which year. It could be 2018 or 19, but I think NEO will have a very big year one year when all of these projects start rolling.
I agree.
So let's take a quick look. We got the weekly. I drew that trend line at this Chiku span, the lagging span on the Ichimoku cloud, and then here we are right against it. I've changed to a Heikin-Ashi candle to see those smoothed out kind of candles. Let's now jump into the 1 day chart and see if we can get any more detail of what's happening.
That does look exciting, I guess, but I don't know, there's a red cloud in the future too.
That's true. So we're looking at a red cloud. We're inside the cloud right now, which is a point of, it's like misty fog. You're not sure what the direction is, right? And we're bouncing up and down and like skirting around the edges of the cloud, which is very interesting observation to make as well. So again, what we're looking for at this point, I would not be trading, but I am curious, is it trying to break through on that weekly time frame, that level that seems to be there, and we seem to be playing around with that level as well here, and we're right there right now. So I'm looking for something that's coming up a little bit higher, and then looking for that crossover into green cloud future, and then I would be thinking that could be a really nice entry point for NEO, just using these indicators. If we jump to a little 4 hour, again, same kind of thing. 4 hour, you see, you can't rely on that, because look, we're above the cloud, then we're below the cloud, then we're above it. So it's not consistent enough to do much trading on the 4 hour with the NEO chart at the moment. And again, that's because the price is stuck, the gravity is pulling it to that horizontal line I've just drawn in based on the weekly chart analysis, which is again, like you said before, it's the stronger picture, is the bigger time frame. So that's quite interesting from there.
One thing you can do, trade based only on Heikin-Ashi. Like, buy on the green and sell on the red. Look for the EMA or the moving average. And if you are trading daily, just buy on the green, sell on the red. You will miss a few trades, but you will get most of them right.
Right, it's it's not.
I don't do that, but if you wish to, you can do that, right?
Well, it's for everybody to decide, and for everybody to make their own mind as to what they want to do with regards to the charts. Because like all we're doing here is we're just popping educational ideas and popping thoughts and different ideas on different ways you can sort of try and predict the markets and so forth. Because this is purely for educational and sort of entertainment purposes as well.
I agree. Like,
we've got a wealth of knowledge.
This is not a financial advice.
we've got a wealth of knowledge here in this room here at Wirex, and we love to share that with our community, because we depend on you guys. And when you guys make huge gains, remember Wirex, use your cards, buy your Bitcoin through Wirex. And the whole community will be happy. We'll be happy, and you guys will be happy for coming here for this news as well.
So let's remember a few weeks ago we actually looked at, I think it was Dash and Amise Go, and I suggested like Louise is saying, you buy when the turn of the Heikin-Ashi candles, and so we're going to look even at the weekly level. You can do that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Remember, and. I suggested that, I think we were on this week, or I guess I've circled 2. That looks like it's a turn, right? So we had that.
Wants to hold there, right?
Yeah, we went down, followed those there, and then we were looking for the turn, but it hasn't happened yet. It's still a little bit of a bigger red one than here, so that might actually indicate that we're going to push down again at the weekly level. So there's no confidence yet that is a genuine turn in the market. let's jump to Amise Go, and if there's any other coins to have a look at, then we'll do a quick one. And here was a similar story I gave you guys. Like I circled that one, you can see the green circles around this candle, and I suggested maybe this is a turn, and that did close green, so you could buy at the end of that week. And then we have had a couple of green weeks. Or if I just take that off of the Heiken Ashi and see what really happened.
Oh, wow.
So we were saying around this area that it might be a good buy signal, and that was around $14.50, and now it's up to $19. So that has increased from there approximately 38%. So that's a fantastic trade in a couple of weeks, right?
It's a great move.
It's double what you'd make on the S&P 500 in a year, right?
In a year, right. So any other coins to have a quick look at, Raf, from anyone asking, or any that you're curious about right now?
I am curious about, we've had a look at Walton already.
I think we've got time for just one more, and we need to...
Yeah, let's check out Doge quickly, because Doge is quite interesting.
Oops. Against BTC, right?
I was so surprised. This still gets, over 50,000 transactions a week. So people still use it.
It's like no sense, man.
So, well, look, since this is going back 2014, so this is a weekly chart, and you can see that the price has got, relative to Bitcoin, it's kind of gone up and down, and it's kind of held a similar value actually compared to relative to Bitcoin. So you can see where we are now.
That's how I used to trade. I used to trade this on Poloniex. I used to put high sell orders and low buy orders, and I just used to let it just do its thing.
Yes.
And let the orders complete each other, and and make some Bitcoin on off those things.
Nice approach. So here you can see back in 2014 the price of Doji compared to Bitcoin was 0. However many noughts that is, 63.
63, yeah.
And today it's the same price. It's 0.063 worth of Bitcoin. So compared to if you would have held Bitcoin or you would have held Dogecoin since 2014, you've made the same
amount in dollars.
Yeah, you've increased your dollars the same amount, which is amazing.
That's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
There is one person that's wanting us to look at Ven. So let's take a quick look at Ven. I think we looked at this last week actually.
VeChain.
Yeah.
Against US dollar.
This has been.
So it's a fairly new coin because there's not a lot of history, at least not on this exchange that we got. I think it's Bitfinex or Bittrex. I mean, that's a huge increase in the past couple of months that it's been around. If you would have bought Bitcoin, Ven, at the time it got added to this exchange, which I'm assuming, I don't know much about Vencoin. It was ICO at that point. I'm not sure.
Probably.
But you're up a grand whopping. Let's see.
Let's say you bought on the first green candle.
Yeah, if you bought there at current price, this is normal candles.
Normal candles.
You've only made
2,100%. What?
2,000%.
Wow.
That's huge.
20 times in 10 weeks?
Since
it's not even 10 weeks.
November, beginning of November.
Yeah, all right, 10 weeks. About what? Just a bit over 10 weeks.
2.5 months. You made 2,000. So these are the kind of opportunities a lot of people in the community are looking for. They're looking for the super cheap coin. We know a couple of the guys
Yes.
who we know looking for that super cheap coin and hoping for that kind of a price rise. In terms of the technical analysis, I mean, you can see that there. You can see those candles. Obviously it's a bit of a messy chart. It did go up all the way and touched.
Right now is looking like kind of the hyper. I'm not sure the name is the hyper chart, like the bubble charts, like
pump and dump chart.
Pump and dump
yes.
charts. Oh, it looks like it could be in the middle of a
major correction. And if you bought in the past month, you've lost, or you're down at the moment. The price had gone up to 4,300% increase since that point. You're now there, and if you would have bought at the top, because you didn't know technical analysis or the principles that we've taught, such as not to jump on a moving train. Right?
Yeah, that was one of the first lessons, right? Never ever jump, or never buy at the peak. It's just, if something's gone up like over 1,000%, it's probably not wise.
Then you've lost about almost 50% if you'd have bought right at the top, and now we're down here at this price level. Then, so some people are feeling a bit of pain. They're thinking, "Oh, I lost 50% of my money." Others are thinking, "Hey, I've made like 2,000%."
Yeah.
So it's a different story.
All right. Well, we're just getting some feedback as well from Gustavo, because he's the one that's recommended looking at this coin, and he said that they've just announced a partnership with BMW. So and that was, I think I've read that somewhere as well. I think that was a day or two ago. So maybe, I don't know, it's skirting around in the cloud right now.
And here's the trick to any companies that are watching this right now. What you need to do is get a trading guy who will advise you of the technical analysis so that you know when the best time to release your press release or your positive news story, because then the market will take it, the traders will take it higher.
But not do anything illegal, right?
Sure, that's not illegal. That's just smart. So if what BMW?
Yeah, BMW apparently.
If BMW announced that press release like yesterday, then it wasn't really such a great time. For Ven. If Ven announced it just in the past day, they probably should have waited a little bit until the price gets back above cloud over here, when we've got the TK crossover, we've got the cloud crossover, and over here if they release a press release, then you can see that spike
you
in the
would
trading.
have a bigger momentum, right?
Yeah. But that's interesting. That's interesting from Gustavo.
Let's just. I just want to double check the story and see.
I'm not sure if you guys heard about a webpage called Multicoin Charts.
Which one?
Multicoin Charts.
No.
It's basically for trading view charts, so you can place BTC and your coin. So you can track like BTC price and to see if it's falling or going against Bitcoin.
Okay.
So you can track both at the same time. It's really good for trading.
We'll check that out.
Or you can put like 4 Bitcoin charts and see if every exchange is working.
Oh, that's really cool. That sounds really, because I knew a few people that used to switch between exchanges to try and get.
No,
the best.
I use Multicoin. It's multicoincharts.com.
Okay.
It's free.
We'll leave that in the show notes.
Yeah, and it's basically for trading view charts. You can add more, I guess, up to 6-8 charts.
Great, so it's been great to have you on the show,
Right,
Luis. We're out of time for today. Guys, tune in again next week and we'll see the evolution of the chart and if the couple of predictions that we've made are correct. What else? Anything else to wrap up, Raf? What can people look forward to over the next week or so?
Well, we're going to see a lot of potential backlash from the crypto news last week. So now it seems that governments and banks are getting on board, let's see if that trend continues or if there is a backlash against that trend. So there might be resistance to it. It's going to be pretty exciting, but to be honest, I can't remember the last time we had much positive geopolitical news in like the last 4 years of cryptocurrency.
And some good news coming out of Wirex as well. Right?
Oh my God! So that is actually the main star thing, right? If you have a Wirex account, please start sharing your affiliate links now. Start promoting the fact, especially if you live in the UK. So if you guys live in the UK and in London, start sharing your affiliate links now, because people are going to be able to. You're going to be able to earn Bitcoin with those links. And
well, I'll give you a little secret. If you actually go inside the application into your account and you go to try and order a new card, you'll actually see a box, an invitation to join the waiting list. And then if you take a link after you've joined that wait list, if you take the share with a friend link, you share that with just a couple of people, then you'll be put ahead of the waiting list. So you will then be first to receive access to the new accounts, the new cards, potentially as near as next week.
And the thing is, right, we're not messing around, because the only way you earn money through the affiliate link is if your friends use their Wirex card, and that's the only way that Wirex works. So it's literally, we're running so close. I'm going to run that video again for you guys at the end of this to quickly show you. It's 15 seconds, and you know, we're in the final stages now. So I've been working with the video team on this today. So that's it. So there we go. Very exciting stuff. That is everything from the Wirex crypto trades today. That's the beta advert as well. I'm here with Gabriel. And Luis, and we've been doing the Wirex weekly crypto trades. Catch us on Wirex. Follow our Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course like the Facebook page. And we look forward to seeing you on the next lives and the next bits of content. But right now, that's everything from us, and we are signing off. Take care.
Or we'll do like a little edit and we'll send it to you and show them and check that it's good.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's okay to you. Like, they send me. Bitcoin.
Famous, yeah. Luis, famous Brazilian trader.
That's why
Debating it.
you cannot buy online.
I would like to go